Hey, hi, hello, and how are you? My name is Aspasia, and this is my booktube channel, Asparagus is Reading, and today we're going to be talking about some books that I've hauled recently. So, majority of these books I got yesterday, because yesterday my mom and I discovered this new store called Ollie's, which I always thought was a grocery and like hardware store, so kind of like a Walmart grocery section and Lowe's kind of store. No, it is actually like a bargain store, so you get a lot of stuff for cheaper. So for mine, there's a huge book section. Everything's like $35. Some stuff a little higher. They had this giant bottle of bleach that my mom bought that you could get at Walmart for like just an example. I don't know the exact price for like 10 at Walmart, but at Ollie's it's $2. Some laundry detergent, it was $1.99. There's this giant mirror that we saw. I know that if it was at Walmart or somewhere else, it would have been like 70, $80. Ollie's, 25. My mom was like, sold. Because she's been trying to get like a big mirror or a big arch, and it's been really expensive. And then Ollie's just happened to have a perfect size. Like, anyways, so yeah. So I'm just going to show you all those books, plus other things cannot speak, plus other things that I've gotten recently. So the first two books that I have here are actually part of a pre-order. Them are the exact same book. And that is A Few After All by Raquel Marie. If that name is familiar to you, that is because she used to be a YouTuber doing books. I do believe she's on hiatus now that she's doing like author things. They also known as Rocky or Blonde with the Book on social medias. So this is her debut contemporary novel. It is not a romance. People do say it's a romance. It does feature romance, but romance is not the main theme. It's more of a coming out story or coming of age kind of story, contemporary. This, 5 stars. I cried while reading it. It is a new favorite. I listen, Raquel, Rocky, Mom with the Book, whichever name you'd like to use here today, put her soul into this book, and I felt it. So this book follows Ophelia, who is in her senior year of high school, and her group of friends are preparing for college. She ends up meeting this girl in her class, Talia, who she's immediately very interested in. Something about her really just intrigues her. Very like a lot of her attention goes to that girl, right? And so she's trying to figure out what that means and what that is. So in this book, you're following her as she slowly starts to question herself, like her identity and her sexuality. There are a couple conversations where she's like, "Well, who am I if I were to change? How would people perceive me if I were to be someone else than what someone thought I originally was?" I think she is just really trying to grapple these feelings that she's feeling and accept them and understand what those mean, and also tackle the identity and the expectations her people around her already have for her and adjust them for herself, but also accept that as a person you are going to change, and that as you change, other people will change and their expectations and view of you will change, and just coming to understanding different sexualities and things like that. I feel like that was the longest and most complicated description of a book ever, but like this book, I really enjoyed this because I really definitely felt like it explored a lot of that, and it was also a little messy. It wasn't like, oh, she got with her crush at the end of the book, oh, I'm happy after, oh, she figured things out. No, it was a little messy, a little complicated, and it shows the journey that may or may not necessarily be finished. The next book that I pre-ordered is She's Too Pretty to Burn by Wendy Hurd. This is a YA contemporary thriller. I think at least that's what I would consider it. So it is summertime in San Diego, okay? You know, I'm thinking hot, a little bit dry, however San Diego looks. And Veronica, who is our, like, artsy girl, very charismatic, photography type stuff. And then we have, Mick. Is her full name? I don't remember her full name, but in the book, she's called Mick. And Mick is, like, the perfect subject, the model. But they met, and they fall very quickly in love, and it's a very chaotic, passionate, wild summer love, right? Well, we really do bring in that chaotic and passionate and wild in here. This goes from romance to, oh snap, some arson, some murder, some damage of property, people drowning, there's a stalker. A lot of people like the picture of Dorian Gray, and if you do, this is the one. I've heard a lot of people compare it to this and how they really enjoy this because of that. I haven't read Dorian Gray, so I don't know, but if it is good as this, I might have to pick it up soon. So the next book I bought, well, I didn't buy, it was free. It's from like this little vehicle that comes around my area. Well, they have two now. It's basically like a book sale, like a free book that you can donate books to them, and then they go to events and they give out free books, educate about the importance of books in people's life and in school. And so they came to my school the fourth time this year, I think. I don't know. And I picked up a book, and that is Quit Like a Woman, The Radical Choice to Not Drink and the Culture Obsessed with Alcohol. Now, I thought this would be interesting to kind of read about women drinking alcohol and trying to, adjust to quitting drinking it when alcohol is a very common thing, for some people I would say expected. You're almost expected to at least drink or like to drink, and then also it's a very social thing. I thought that would be very interesting. I don't drink. First of all, I'm not legal of age to do that, and also second, when I've had drinks, they were all nasty. Mixed tequila, wine, beer, rum, whatever it is. Nasty. I think it all has the very exact same taste in my mouth. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, even if it's mixed, even if it's paired with the food, it's that one taste about alcohol. Nasty. Alright, so now the rest of these books are from Ollie's. I only have 2, stories, and then I have, 6, 7, 8 graphic novels, and then 1 nonfiction. So the first book we have here is the Marvel Studios story, How a Failing Comic Book Publisher Became a Hollywood Superhero. So this I picked up just because I find reading and watching about how things started or the behind the scenes and stuff really interesting. My sister and I recently watched, I think it's called The Pixar Story. It's on Disney Plus. It's a movie about how Pixar started, basically where they planned Toy Story, and how Toy Story really took off, and that became, how we know now as Pixar, right? I think there was more before Toy Story. I don't remember if Toy Story was the first one or not, but I thought that was interesting. I do like to watch videos and movies about how they made a movie, or different ideas behind a movie, or like how they came with the costume concept and things like that. And so I thought this would be interesting to learn about Marvel and how they went from something little to failing to something huge, a very important and large part of pop culture, which I think is very interesting. I'm pretty sure they're going to bring up Robert Downey Jr. because if it wasn't for that man, honestly, I don't know if Marvel would be as big as it is today. The next book I got is King's Bane, which is book 2 in the Imperium trilogy by Claire Legrand. I bought this solely because of Katie from Katie's Book Nook. I remember watching a bunch of her videos. I don't remember what year it was. And this is the only book, or at least not the only book, one of the main books she talked about. Absolutely love them, obsessed. I intended to read them a while ago, but I kind of just procrastinated and forgot about it. And I do believe book 3, it's a trilogy, yeah. So I do believe book 3 is out now, so I could probably pick all 3 of them up around the same time as we finish them. I didn't realize that they were this big though. I don't know why, when I see them in videos, I'm like, okay, about 300 pages. Nah, it's not. This is about 600 pages. This is only book 2. I don't know what this is about. I just remember hearing Katie talk about it. When I saw this, I just saw Katie's face being like, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I bought this solely for her. It was used to be, or usually, $20. It was now $3. Ollie's, you're my new fave. Okay, so now on to the graphic novels. So the first 4 are the ones my mom bought are Archie's Big Book. These are basically big collections of different comics related to Archie. We only have 2 through 5 because they did not have volume 1. But volume 2 is fantasy. Volume 3 is rock and roll. Volume 4, fairy tales. And volume 5, action adventure. I did pick up some Archie comics back in middle school, high school. Because, you see them at the grocery store, just grab one real quick. But they were never in order. And I always thought they were interesting. And I always liked the characters. I just never collected or followed enough to get the full storylines. Riverdale, I attempted the first season. I don't think I ever finished it. If I did, I have no memory of it. We are now in season, who knows what season. I think I'm gonna guess 7 or 8 at this point. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I'm starting to think that those actors and actresses are locked in a contract that they can't get out of, because at this point the show is a hot mess. And people, it's just like, from what I've heard and seen, I'm like, y'all need to cut this like 4 seasons ago. It's just going on forever, and I just feel like they're just putting in whatever they can to keep going, and it's not working out. So again, I haven't seen the show, so maybe my opinion could change once I see it. But if I were to suggest watching this, I would say watch the first 2-3 seasons and then dip out. Next book I got is the Guinness World Records of 2021. This was really random. I just saw this. I thought this would be interesting to look at. What I didn't realize is that this is not all records from 2021. It's any records up until 2021. So if something happened in 1978 and has not been broken, they will discuss it. And so I guess I was expecting more things to happen in 2021. I didn't realize that it brought up past things because it hasn't been broken yet. I don't know. But I see a lot of things happening in 2019. 2019 was like right before we all went to COVID quarantine. It's so very interesting, like how active we were and how many things we broke, like records. And then how we go to 2020 and activity goes down. But also, I saw that they included some categories and some stuff about 2020. For example, like how TikTok became really popular and Charlie D'Amelio was like the most followed female TikToker ever. How many streaming hours over 20, because a lot of people during quarantine got really into Twitch and started streaming and things like that, and a lot of virtual events, how many people attended certain virtual events. I thought that was interesting that they included those too. First one for the graphic novels, or another one of the graphic novels, is the DC Comics Bombshells. I believe it's a deluxe edition, book 1. Like I said, my parents used to read a lot of comics and graphic novels, and we still have tote bins full of comics. Like, they used to sit outside for hours until the store opened and buy it. And some of these things are old. And so I've been trying to read them and catch up so I could, like, know background and storyline about all the different characters in these universes. So I'm slowly collecting and adding on to what my parents have. Yeah, I thought this was a very interesting one to read because we stand women in what they do, and I thought that was interesting. Also, I just noticed this now. Margaret Bennett, I am pretty sure she came to my university to do a talk. And let me tell y'all something. So today, they're having a creative writing alumni panel today. I couldn't go, I had somewhere to be. And I could not find where it said who was coming. It just said there was a panel. Now, I would love to see Margaret because, like, she's alumni and she does come on now, DC graphic novels, okay. And then also, let's see, there's no other authors. There's a YA author that I think a lot of people know. What is her name? Who am I thinking of? Oh, this is gonna bother me. Okay. Anyways, there's a really popular YA author that graduated from my university. I don't know if she was coming, but like that would have been really cool to meet her. I'm just popping in here to say that I remember who it was, and that author is Maggie Stevewater. Alright, so next graphic novel is the Harley Quinn Little Black Book. If you know, I love Harley Quinn. I have 2 of her Funko Pops. One is here, another one's over there on the wall. I went through a strong Harley Quinn phase. Like, I watched all her movies. I talked about her. I went through the Pinterest of everything was her. My wallpaper was her. I wanted to be her for Halloween. Like, I had a strong Harley Quinn phase. Now, I'm out of the phase, but I still love her as a character. Now, Margot Robbie, she can play that role. And I just thought it was interesting. I used to have more Harley Quinn books. I don't know where they went. Like, I don't know where they went, but I'm glad I can finally, add on to what I used to have. Next one is Justice League versus Suicide Squad. This is part of the DC Universe Rebirth. From what I understand, they are redoing some storylines of DC Universe, but they've done this like a million times. So I'm not sure how different this will be from what we're used to. This used to be $30 and I got it for $5. Wow. Okay. And the last one is Batman. Rebirth Deluxe Edition Book 2. It has Catwoman on the cover. I've seen this photo of them, so I might have read this before already, but maybe, I don't know. But, This used to be $35 and I got it for $7. Yo, Ollie's, you give me the hookup. Again, Batman. No one could beat Batman. I'm sorry. Like, we like Wonder Woman. But would I ever pick Wonder Woman over Batman? I mean, maybe because Batman is human and he's a lot easier to get rid of than Wonder Woman. But he's rich and has gadgets and has cool stuff that Wonder Woman could use. I don't know. I definitely had a moment where I shipped Wonder Woman and Batman, and then I came to a realization that was not gonna work. That was not gonna work. Batman in my head is forever single. This Playboy business, I'm not a big fan, but hey. I played the Batman games. I have a Batman Funko Pop. I have another one over there again. I have a Batman book, one of 7 that I think are downstairs. I have many graphic novels. Listen, I just really want to read more about some of my favorite characters. As you can see, I have Marvel, DC books on my shelf. So, yeah. You can see, I had a great time shopping at Ollie's yesterday. I don't know the next time we'll be back. Some of our friends saw the pictures that we sent them and they're excited. They want to go, so we'll probably end up doing like a big shopping day soon at Ollie's because that was great. Like, I'm gonna have to save up a paycheck or two and just splurge on books. There was more there that I wanted but I didn't get because I didn't want to spend that much, plus they're at my library. But that was very fun. I really enjoyed it. I have been trying to do better with my book hauls and how much books I get each year, and my goal for the year was to get 30 books total. As you can see, I'm pretty sure I've already broken that, so I mean, some of these were pre-orders, so, and you know, well, I didn't buy these, my mom bought these, so technically I didn't do anything, but like, they're still on my shelf. So that is all the books that I have for this book haul today. I will be doing an ebook book haul, but I'm gonna do it separately just because ebooks are a lot easier to purchase. You literally just 1 click or sometimes 2 clicks. And I have quite a bit, especially since I also have Night Alley. So that's gonna be a completely separate video. That might come out closer over the summer just because that's longer, it will be more time, and I'm about to be in finals. It's a whole thing. Yeah, so with that being said, that is all the books I have for you today. Drop a book stack emoji or a shopping bag money emojis, anything related to book shopping, money spending on books emojis down below. So I know that you made it this far. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, or whatever time it is where you are, and I'll see you in the next one.